That's one of those things that the home inspector should be keen
They
on
should know
to
that.
follow.
We should have a maybe we should do an online webinar for home inspectors. Tell them all the things us plumbers are, sometimes annoyed by their reports because they're like, yeah, I don't think you fully understand this, or you're going to have to deal with it because that's what we have in our area kind of deal. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Make Trades Great Again podcast. Eric and Andy here. Andy, got a question for you. Oh, by the way, everybody, it's snowing in Minnesota and Montana.
And Missoula.
Yeah, and
First snow
Missoula.
of the year.
It's
November 26.
Yeah, November 26th, 25th, 26th for us. We got about 6 inches, and it's nasty gross outside. Not because of the snow, because it's like 1,000-mile-an-hour winds and feels like 4 degrees, and gross. It was like 50 degrees like a week ago.
I needed the snow to happen because I know that I have a lot of customers that are like, I don't know if it's going to get cold this year.
Oh, yeah. I know. Now the phone is going to go crazy. It also is the busiest week of the year for just the service side of things when it comes to plumbing.
Yeah.
And it's not bad for heating either. It's no slouch. People are taxing their heating systems and stuff. You invite Aunt Edna and Uncle Chuck over.
Yeah.
And all hell breaks loose on the mechanicals
and then feed them nothing but carbs for 2 days.
Yeah.
Carbs and beer and snacks.
Yeah, if they're staying the night, they're also clogging the toilet. Anyway, I got a question for you, Andy.
Yep.
So last week, I think it was, I went and looked at a job, customer referral. Guy says, hey, we have a radiant system in our basement and it's not working. And it's been kind of problematic, but can you come take a look at it? And so I get there and I'm like, oh, you have a water heater as your heat source, tank water heater.
Mm-hmm.
And it's old. It's original. It's like 20-year-old water heater running this thing.
Right.
Gas water heater, power vent. Okay. And I try to explain to the customer, I'm like, well, I could see some stuff. They got a relief valve that's leaking.
Yeah.
It's down on 0 PSI. What's that?
Is it 150-pound relief or did somebody swap it?
I didn't look at the tape. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't look.
How many of those have you come across?
Plenty.
Where you got
they don't ever switch them.
Where you got a radiant system with a 150-pound relief on it and a 15-pound expansion tank.
At this point, I'm never surprised to see that.
Yeah.
And I always think, like, what does it matter? They're going to ruin this thing. Isn't not right from the beginning. Anyway, so I'm looking at it. I could see the bottom of the copper relief pipe's all white and crusty. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And there's a spot on the floor permanently embossed into the concrete. And I'm like, ugh. There's a pressure gauge, but it's got liquid in it. I'm like, geez, this is so great. Yeah. And I look down, I see, that white PEX, and it's white, not Uponor white. It's white. And I'm like, yeah, that's PEX. That's not oxygen barrier tubing. There's no way. I'm just guessing.
This is like in the slab?
It's in the slab basement, yeah. And I'm like, there's no way that's oxygen barrier. I can't read any letters on it. I'm not even digging into it. I'm like, yeah, no, it's because it's kind of around behind the whatever. You can barely get to it. And I'm like, I just know that this thing has got just PEX in the floor and not oxygen barrier. And it's got this water heater as a heat source. Luckily, it's not like connected to their domestic. Yeah. But I'm looking at it. I'm like, I could see the problems. I was like, for sure, you're going to need an expansion tank. Probably need to put new guts in this Honeywell super vent or whatever it is. And because it's all corroded and ain't doing anything, but probably leaking and letting air in or something. And your relief valve's bad. I was like, well, he's like, can you get it going? I'm like, well, Sam, I can try. But I said, here's what the cost is going to be for the parts and me to change them. And I'm not guaranteeing you that anything's going to go because I don't even know if your water heater works.
Right.
He's like, well, how much did make this right? Because he saw, it wasn't a customer. It was he saw me on Kyle stumping for RR Buildings.
Oh, sure.
He saw me do the heating system. He follows Kyle.
Yep.
He's like, I found out you're in Minnesota. I'm watching this episode. I'm like, I got to call this guy. I'm like, yeah, you do. Finished basement, if that matters. And so mechanical space, like right in the middle. We're not running extra venting or anything like that. We're like, well,
but you got a sidewall, you got a power vent now, so at least PVC vented.
Yeah. And so he's like, well, how much did, like, what would it take to like do this right way? And I'm like, well, first of all, the right way would be taking this water heater out, because the state of Minnesota has never recognized a tank water heater that isn't dual listed as a space heating device to be used for space heating. I said, when your house was built early 2000s, I said they were kind of looking the other way. There wasn't a lot going on with this kind of stuff. And maybe it wasn't even connected at the time. Maybe it was just roughed in and somebody came along, popped a water heater in here, moved along. And,
Right.
and obviously it worked. I always tell people, look, I know it works, but the problem is this appliance was never made for it.
Yeah.
You can't
It's not
control it.
efficient.
Well, it's not efficient at all. Oh my
Terrible.
gosh. I have that. Let me get onto that for a second. But I was going to say, you can't control it with a thermostat. You can't. There's a whole lot of reasons why this isn't made for space heating. Anyway, yeah, it's not efficient. I tell people that all the time. They're like, well, I want one of those high efficiency water heaters. I'm like, well, a tankless water heater? I'm like, no, just the one that, it looks like this, but it has the pipe that goes outside. I'm like, that's not high efficiency. I said, they're 65, 70% efficient at best.
Yeah.
Well, they vent with plastic. Yeah, here's how it works. They mix air from the room to cool down the exhaust gas so it can be run through PVC. Really? I'm like, yeah. The energy factor is not necessarily fully one-to-one. Yeah, it's not fully one-to-one conversion to call it efficiency, but it's pretty close. And when this thing is rated at 0.64 energy factor, that means 0.36 energy factor is going out the window. You know what I mean? So I'm like, these things are so inefficient, it's crazy. And then the fact that it runs regardless of what you have, any demand for. And I don't know how a tank, it's 50 gallons, by the way. This floor is only like 1,500 square feet. The 50-gallon water heater trying to heat a 1,500 square foot radiant system. My God. You need about 10 gallons at most. I mean,
Right.
anyway, so all of that, you got the story, right?
Yeah.
We're assuming the water heater works. Let me ask you 2 questions. As is, not requested to replace it, would you do all the fix that needs to get this thing going? And then don't answer yet. And then second question, separate, please. Would you replace it with a tank water heater?
Well, the third option is, will you make sure you break out my bid so I can compare it to
Yeah. Can you give me itemized? And then of course, final would be if you don't put a new tank in there, is it because you're going to put a boiler, right? So I want to know what your thoughts are on this. I think I don't think it's a super easy question to answer, to be honest with you.
No, it's really not, because I mean, if I'm okay, so let's put it this way. Two factors. If I'm there on my heat doesn't work and this is a job,
and this is
is one direction. If
and this
I'm
is their
there
only heat. This isn't their only heat, by
right.
the way.
If I'm there on hey, can you come give me a price? Right.
Yeah.
Let's start with the second first. If I'm there to give them a price, I'm not giving them a price on replacing
with another
water heater
tank.
with another power vent.
Okay.
Not happening.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And for one
Yep.
solid reason, I can buy a boiler, like I could buy a Viessmann, B1HE 85 for almost the same price as I can buy a Power Vent 50. Like they're closing in on each other. Right. Now, install price, whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not talking the same thing. But they're
about $1,000 difference.
You're right. If I'm $5,000 to do a power vent swap out, right, and then in your particular case, you're going to be putting a different relief on it, new expansion tank, feed water valve. If you're doing,
there's no feed. There's nothing on.
Right?
There's no. It's a.
They're just feeding it with a hose. Okay.
Yeah.
So I put a
bare
glycol feeder on there, so it's got the ability to do it, right? I mean, we're $5,000 to $6,000 right out of the box with a new power vent.
Yeah.
And
but a boiler,
I'm 10 there.
You're 10 plus. Yeah.
Yep. But here's where we go with the boiler. We go from 69% efficient, 65% efficient, no
tank.
Controls,
yep.
tank, to 96% efficient, full condensing. And I'll be honest with you. I bet if you plugged an analyzer into a boiler that's running that type of system, all radiant, single zone, single
96, 97, 98%.
98.
Yep.
Yeah. That thing's idling at 105 degrees
My system,
or less.
My system is running in the shop right now.
Yeah.
It's cold as heck outside. I upped the temperature a little bit because it'd been really cool here. So I had it set a little lower in case the heat needed to turn on, but it hasn't been running much lately. My boiler's been running overnight and is right now. It's early in the morning. It's at 11%. I looked at it this morning. So it's 10 to 15% modulating right now. It was at 11 when I looked at it last night. It's at 10 or 11 this morning.
Right.
It's target temperature, 79 degrees.
Yep.
Last night, because it was warmer, last night the target temperature was 73 degrees.
Yep.
So you can't do any of this with a water heater. It's a one temp set and forget, right?
Yep.
And so you got to pick a temperature that you need when it's actually cold out. So you have to run at a higher temp than needed, like 95% of the time.
Yeah. That basement, I would bet, if they went to the extreme lengths to be cheap and put a water heater in there, probably is 12-inch centers, maybe 18 centers. So
probably
you might have
12,
a little higher temps, but regardless, it's not going to be 110 degrees, right? And secondary to this, your shop's bigger than, what is yours, 40 by
45, yeah.
Yeah, so you're 1,700 square feet, so you're a couple hundred square feet bigger. Your shop probably has double the heat loss that basement does.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because the basement.
This isn't even a walkout.
7 feet dirt, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's at least a lookout. So it's got at least 4 feet of dirt on one wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then 8 on the rest. Yeah. It's
I mean, it thing needs 15,000 BTUs worth of heat, I bet.
So you're there to fix
it,
let's say.
Yeah. Okay. There to fix it.
You're there to fix it. Do you put the parts and pieces in? I mean, this is literally bare bones. Like it needs an expansion tank and need to put new guts in the air vent because I know that's garbage.
Yeah.
It's one of those Honeywell super vents, or is that what they're called? You used them for a long time.
Power vent. Yeah.
Yeah, power vent, is that what it's called? And then
or maybe it's super.
It's an inline micro bubble absorber, whatever it's called. You get it. And then it's not like the high vent. And then assuming the pump works, it doesn't need that, and it needs a relief valve, an expansion tank.
$1,000 repair.
Yeah, and we're not even sure like this water heater is going to last or anything, but I'm not going to worry about that. Let's say it does work, and we're just going to. Would you do that work?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and here's the reason why here's how I approach those.
Yeah,
I am going to walk in and we're going to look at this and we're going to go, okay, let's have a conversation. Time out. VR, right? Let's go back to, let's go walk through the scenario here with the homeowner. One, it's not the correct appliance. If we called the building inspector in here now or 20 years ago, he's going to say no.
Yeah.
Right. Doesn't matter. This isn't new, right? It wasn't like this was installed in a time period when it was legal.
Right.
Right. It never was.
Right.
Not ever. So here's the deal. Is it safe? If I can look at it and say, no, you know what? It's safe enough to operate here. We're not, there's no life safety risk of having this water heater running in the basement any more than there is if it was a water heater.
Right.
Right. We're not running high temp. We're not trying to heat baseboard with it. Right. So we're doing 100-degree water out of it. The thermostat's probably set its lowest possible setting. It's running at a fifth of the pressure that it normally is going to run at.
Yeah.
So if I'm repairing it, we're putting a 30-pound relief on it.
Yeah.
Putting a new expansion tank on it, putting the air vent in it like you talked, adding some water. Let's get this thing running.
Flush it out. Fully flush it.
Whatever.
Yep.
Get the thing back to its safest operating position. And then having the homeowner basically acknowledge that, listen, this system needs a lot of attention.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The Aerotherm Series G2 from Bradford White is their most efficient water heater yet. This hybrid electric heat pump water heater delivers a best-in-class 4.2 UEF on the 65-gallon model, helping reduce energy use without sacrificing performance. It features Bradford White's intuitive Icon System LED digital display, ultra-quiet operation, and zero-clearance design for the sides and rear, giving you maximum flexibility for tight installs. The G2 is built for efficiency, Ease of use and long-term reliability, exactly what you'd expect from Bradford White. To learn more about the Aerotherm G2, visit bradfordwhite.com.
All I'm going to say is the stuff I put in they're going to work. That's it.
Yeah. This is a big fat sticky Band-Aid that we're going to hope is going to get you through to spring. And then come like the next 6 months, we need to have a serious conversation about how you heat your house. Because this isn't it. This water heater's 10 years past its prime.
Yeah.
Because no power vent water heater out there has a usable life of more than 10 years. I don't care I don't care what.
Well, it's not what it's designed for. Yeah.
No.
I mean, it might last longer, but okay. So let me pull this up real fast, just in case anybody's like pulling their hair out. Minnesota Plumbing Code. It's or the plumbing code is part of the building code. It's chapter 4715. Okay.
Sure.
So every part of the code starts with 4715. That's part of our building code. That's the plumbing section of it. We have our own version. We have a boutique version of the UPC. Same code you use, and just the same as you. You have a little bit different part for Montana, and it's all based off like weather stuff like that, right?
Minimal stuff.
Yep. But it makes it kind of our own code in a sense, adopted from the same code.
Yep.
Anyway, 4715 equipment used. This is combination water and space heating equipment. Equipment used for heating domestic or service hot water and for space heating must be installed with a mixing valve to permit the user to control the temperature of the domestic or service hot water regardless of space heating demand. Okay, so basically you have to run the tank hotter for space heating in theory than you do for domestic hot water. And this is if you're using a combi device, but it goes on further to get to where we're talking about. It says the installation must include a drainage port and isolation valve to permit the user to purge the heating coils coils to waste after the non-heating season, or the system must be designed to automatically prevent stagnation. Okay, so we're still talking combi systems, but here's the next one. This is all the same chapter, 4715, 2190. The water heater must be specifically designed by the manufacturer for use as a combination hot water and/or space heater. So there are tank water heaters on the market that have a designation of designed for space heating.
Yep.
This is not one of them. There are very few of them, and they're very uncommon to be found on the, they're very rare to be found on the local stock. There are not a lot of suppliers that
they're expensive.
Yeah, because they're more expensive. They carry some certifications. They have heat exchangers in them, things like that.
Yeah, the Combi Core.
Combi Core, our good friends at Bradford White.
Yep.
We love them. We don't love the Combi Core. I had one of those last week too. I did send a proposal for a boiler.
Tristan called me out on one. He's like, dude, these guys are using this water heater to heat their radiant floor. It's like 5 zones on it. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, it's got their domestic hot water going in. And so anyway, we're walking through it. It's the first one he's came across.
Oh,
right? We don't have a lot of them here.
They're not common. They were common early 2000s here because for us, and same for you, combi boilers weren't legal because they didn't have a double wall heat exchanger.
Well, and this is like this tip up concrete like complex where there's like all of these it's like an office in the front and a warehouse in the back, and there were rentals at one point. I think they're all owned now, but there's like 15 of them, and each one has its own
Combi Core,
and then a 2,500 square foot radiant with domestic hot water. And so I'm like, no, something's not right. I'm like, what's the model number? He's like, well, it's a Lochinvar tank. I'm like, send me the model number.
Lochinvar had one, huh?
Yeah.
Was it made by Bradford White?
I think so. It's that same.
It's still around. These things never make it past like a year 10 to 12.
Old. That's what he said. He goes, it's 18 years old.
Oh my gosh, lucky.
I was like, whoa.
Okay, so back to the tank, power vent, and everything. So I'm going there today. I am going to fix it. Okay, I'm going to put the parts and pieces in it. I did give him a proposal for full replacement. It's not in his budget right now. I can tell you that. Plus, keep in perspective, regardless of when you hear this, you're going to hear this the week after Thanksgiving, but this is the week leading up to Thanksgiving where I'm telling him, hey,
by the way,
you got 10, 15 grand. We can fix this the right way. You know what I mean? So most people are like, no. They're thinking about, possible family vacation coming up that they've been saving for and paying for already. Once Christmas break hits, they got, it's Thanksgiving, so they're buying their food that is not 25% less than it was last year, by the way. And they're also doing things like, Christmas shopping and stuff like the last thing for most people in my area, I'm not going to say this is true everywhere, but the last thing on mind for most people in my area is not dumping, dozens of thousands of dollars to redo some floor heat in their basement that they don't absolutely need.
I'm going to go out on a limb though. I bet that you telling this guy that this is not the right thing in this house you're not the first person that's done this or looked at it.
He didn't. He was not surprised.
Yeah. He's heard this many times before and has been like, well, one of these days,
Well, so this guy is I don't envy this guy at all, no matter what. But to, add insult to injury, this guy bought the house 4 years ago.
Right.
He's been dealing with this thing not
home
working.
Inspector should have called this out. 100% should have called that out.
Yeah, they should. But what's your faith in those guys? I'm just kidding. Some of them are pretty darn good.
Some of them are pretty good.
Some of them are questionable.
That's one of those things that the home inspector should be keen.
They should know that. Maybe we should do an online webinar for home inspectors. Tell them all the things those plumbers are, sometimes annoyed by their reports because they're like, I don't think you fully understand this, or you're going to have to deal with it because that's what we have in our area kind of deal.
I feel like the safest bet on any of those, consult with your local plumbing professional, consult with your local heating professional.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Something's off. Just full disclosure. Something's not right here.
I agree. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. Get this thing hopefully operational. His words were, can we get it going for the winter? And I gave him the price and he agreed to it. So, it's not crazy. It probably not charges as much as some other companies would. I feel like the price is right for the way I operate. But the question, and I'm glad, and thank you for answering honestly and explaining yourself. I think, as you're the same as me, I tell him straight up, like, look, this isn't the right way. I couldn't pull a permit to do this. And if that's anything, it's not about pulling or not pulling a permit. It's about the fact that I couldn't pull a permit and get it approved and have them sign off on me putting another water heater in here. Right. Unless I go the route of that space heating water heater. That's something we didn't discuss, which would increase the cost slightly, just simply because of material cost. Doesn't install any different. Right. But, what do you want to do? You want to go down that route? Like, is it cheaper? Yeah, it's cheaper. And if you're okay with the way it runs now, like pretty wild, really. This thing is turning on and off. And you're talking about a 20-year-old power vent. These things are loud. They ain't get any quieter over time unless they stop running. It's the only way you can get this thing to quiet down. So you hear that thing go, because that's what a power vent sounds like, by the way. It's a spot on impression, by the way. You're welcome. And the thing is, by the way, it's right under their living room. So the guy's like, is there a way we can quiet this down? I'm like, no, you can't quiet down.
Yeah, just turn the game up.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn the game up a little louder. You'll be fine.
Yeah, put the electrical tape over the check engine light. That's about what we're doing here.
That's right.
That's all I got, man. I'm glad we got it. We got it covered. Getting some good feedback too. Some great comments over on YouTube. Oh man, there's some discussion on YouTube on the post on the video of. Let me pull it up real quick. The triangle tube shutting down. Yeah, people are in there talking. They got their theories as to what's going on. Why they shut down? There's a good bunch of questions, and then the another one that's doing real well. The stay safe, the personal CO monitors. You see the thanks out to Abe.
I did.
Posted on his stories telling everybody, hey, I learned about this personal CO monitor from Eric and Andy. Buddy, thanks for posting that. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Well, and we got some fan mail back from someone on that note as well.
I didn't see it.
Oh, what's that? Just came yesterday.
Nice. Nice.
fan mail. Mike Schofield. On the IG, Sco P&H. I've been kind of following along. I think his son has been working in the trades.
He's an instructor for a
He
trade
is.
school program too out
Yeah.
there in New Hampshire. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And so, yeah. So he said, I ordered him for myself, my son, and is working in the field as well, and a buddy. So they picked up
Nice.
a couple of them. You know, the reality of it is that just like we said in the episode, you know, nobody knew about this, right? There's not one of these flyers sitting on the counter at the. So
Jason and Steve, real quick, holding your story.
Yeah, go for it.
So Jason and Steve's, he runs Citron.
Citron, yeah.
Citron,
something. SEI.
I'm sorry,
I
Jason.
spell it wrong every time.
I say it two different ways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's doing a good job educating people. He's super smart on combustion analysis. Like, oh man, and he had his hand in creating that Novo analyzer that they have, which is
super nice.
So nice. I'm so glad you got one because for last year I've been telling you, like, man, this thing is freaking nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's been educating a lot of people. He relied on us to get the word out a little bit through Mechanical Hub, which we're happy to do because you and I use the product.
Yeah.
And you're right. People did not know about the personal CO monitors. You and I didn't even know about until about 4 years ago, maybe. So 3-4 years ago. So anyway, sorry, your story. Go ahead. Do you remember what it was?
Yes. So I had my monitor on, just like I said I've been doing. Walked into our local supply house. Day was that? Must have been last week, Friday.
Yeah. So after we recorded that episode, by the way.
Yep. Sitting there on the chair, you know, kind of I stopped in to use the bathroom, pick up some parts and pieces that I was short on the van. Kind of waiting for my customer to show up at the next job.
Yep.
And I'm sitting there and got my monitor on my belt and whatever, just kind of sitting there BSing with the counter guys, and you know, another contractor walks in, guy that I've worked with for, you know, in the same field for 20 years. And Bill's got a monitor clipped on his collar, right? On his jacket. And I'm like, what do you got there? You know, and he's got Sensit, I think is the brand. Something you can recalibrate.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
So
there's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got it, and we're sitting there BSing, and I'm looking at his monitor, and it's like 10,
Ooh,
8.
it's not 0.
Not
That's
0.
not
And I'm
good.
like, what the hell? I said, what monitor you got? You know, what gases are you measuring? He's like, oh, it's just carbon monoxide. And I'm like, I look down at mine, 7. I'm like,
huh.
that's
These guys are
interesting.
sitting in this all day long.
Yeah. And I'm like,
You're at the will call desk?
yeah.
Like
Just
in the room. It's not the
room,
warehouse.
Not the warehouse. No.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I look out, and I can, from where I'm sitting, I can look out the window and see
Propane forklifts running.
Basically, I mean, that's what it is. They've been running the forklift with the door closed. And I'm like, you guys got to get a low-level monitor in here.
Well, there should be a fresh air on a monitor, like a Johnson Control monitor,
Right.
to open up a fresh air and an exhaust.
Well, and so I said something to the counter guy, and I'm like, hey, you guys are aware of this? And he goes, no, well, no, not really. He goes, normally they got the door open. And I'm like, well.
Yeah, well, then
I'm like,
all summer long, you're fine, but you got a lot of headaches by the time you go home, don't you?
Yeah, right. And
Everybody's a little crabby.
And the counter guy's like, well, you know, I got a headache when I show up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, we get
I'm like,
that.
Yeah. I said, I'm a headache every time I walk through the door. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but but anyway, that was my short story. So
No,
anyway,
these
told him,
things
I'm like,
are
dude,
powerful.
crack a window.
Well, like Abe said in his Instagram story there, he was sharing our link to our podcast. Thank you again. Like he said, like, look, this is going to save somebody's life.
Yeah.
He even realized, like, very recently, like within the last, like, maybe it's very new to him, but either way, he's like, yeah, he's a young guy. He's like, this is what you need. You need this. This is going to save somebody's life. I'm like, yeah, exactly. You have the stories to prove it. I have the stories to prove it. Yeah, that's we should should get some. I'd love to hear from people too about that episode. See what you thought, what your thoughts are on stuff like this, because I think it's a uniquely powerful conversation to have that can really change people's lives. And it's not, look, there's nothing earth shattering here. Here's this tool out here. It doesn't cost a lot. Put it on your tool bag, put it on your hip, whatever. Could save a life. Wait, what? Could save a life? Yeah, it literally could.
Right.
And they do every day. So anyway, that's it. Great feedback from everybody. Hit that link in your podcast app or whatever down in the show description. You can text us. That's what Andy's talking about, the fan mail. So Mike Schofield, thanks for sending that. That comes through as we call it, the fan mail. We get a text. We don't, we can't get in touch with you, so don't worry about it. We're not gonna clap back. And we appreciate it. We really do. So there you go, buddy. I'm gonna go plow some more snow, and then I'm gonna go work on that water heating system. Ugh.
Mine will be melted here in about an hour. It looks like
It's not melting here. We got highs of like 17, lows of 10, something like that, or single digits. I think we're in it now. Unless we get a week from now, it could be 80 degrees. I don't freaking know.
Yeah, what it is.
Take it easy, bud.
All right, later.